I'm Lisa Mullins in Boston. A note that this next story mentions assisted suicide. Tom Sleigh is an author, poet, and teacher. No coincidence, his mother Rosie was also an author, poet, and teacher. Their relationship could be fraught and close, but Sleigh never expected his mother to ask him to help her die. 4 years ago, Rosie felt her health problems had stripped the joy from her life, and she wanted Tom to help her through medically assisted suicide. Tom Sleigh has just published a book about the experience. It's called Rosie, a Memoir of Farewell.
I don't want to get on a soapbox about it, but I'm sure everybody listening to this, if they have an elderly parent, has just have this kind of cascade of, small health cataclysms, and they keep piling up and piling up.
She had many, many complicated health problems, from Parkinson's to congestive heart failure. And you're trying to help her, and you're trying to have a strong relationship with her as her life is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, one of the things that happened with my ma is she lived a lot longer than she thought she would, and she outlasted her money.
At one point, the bill was $18,000 a month for her home care.
Yep. The problem was she needed too much. She'd had this diagnosis of this rare skin cancer, which the doctor told her, look, if you get treatment, the chances are you can live, 2, 3, 4, 5 years more. And I'll never forget talking to her about it, because at first she seemed amenable to taking treatment. And then I called her the very next day, and she said, well, Tom, I just can't see where there is to get to. And it was such a beautiful statement. That was, the beginning, and she asked me if I would mind researching how to kill herself. And so I said, sure, never thinking that she would eventually do it.
So this was possible because of California. That's where she was. California's medical aid in dying law, known as MAD. You had to go through some logistical hoops to get this done, and you said it was almost as if you were planning some big event like a birthday party.
Right.
But it was just the opposite. Briefly, can you tell us how that was?
There's a lot of nuts and bolts to put in order. You have to order the 4 different medicines. You've got to make sure that you've got 2 diagnoses which agree. And there were very few physicians in Southern California who would agree to that. Her own doctor refused to do it.
And one thing that was going through your mom's head at the same time is that she wanted this to happen before her rent was due.
I know. It was so crazy. And it was that kind of thing. She knew we were both having this ironic game we were playing. And I think it was a kindness that she tried to show me.
She was passionate about writing, teaching, and her students. Not so much passionate about being a mom.
No. I remember when I was in my 20s, my mom said to me, Tom, motherhood, it just wasn't my thing. And, that had its downside. She was frequently unhappy in that role of mother. Because of that, there was a certain amount of anger that just came out of her, and it kind of fell on us. And it was hard as a kid to know what to make of it.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, well, she may not have been like somebody's idea of a mother, but she was incredibly exciting.
You write about one particular time when you said to your mom, it was sort of a tender moment, at least you were trying to make it that way, and you said, Mom, I have to say sometimes you frighten me.
Yeah.
And what did she say?
She said to me, well, you better be scared, you little pissant. And I have to say, it sort of like wounded me. But there was this other part of me, the part that was interested in language. And it was through language that my mother and I, got over the early hurts. And it was always a place that we could share, from the very beginning when I was a young child.
So there was a lot of preparation. She didn't want to die. She was afraid of dying.
Yeah. I secretly did not want her to do it. I wanted to forestall her in any way, but I really rigorously kept my mouth shut. And I helped her execute the plan, and that word execute, I think, bears a lot of the mixed feelings that I still experienced.
You were there when she died. The whole room was full. You were holding her hand. You describe the entire process which takes time. It's not easy to watch necessarily, even though her death seemed quite peaceful.
When we actually did the deed, as she took to calling it, she was speculating about how Socrates had taken hemlock, and she basically took a medical version of hemlock.
And you say now that the decision you made to help her still haunts you.
Well, frankly, she wasn't a great mother, Lisa, but she was a wonderful friend. Yeah, she was, probably the best friend I ever had. Pardon me, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
In any case...
And she was a fellow writer.
Yeah.
What were her last words?
Her last words were, well, is that all there is to it? Mm. And I know that she got that from that wonderful Peggy Lee song.
Is that all there is?
Is that all there is?
Yeah.
Peggy Lee is going through this whole litany of her life about how everything in life is actually kind of disappointment and anticlimax until you get to death. And then, even death is a kind of anticlimax. And she sings, is that all there is? Is that all there is? If that's all there is, my friend, then let's keep dancing.
The book is called Rosie, Tom Sleigh. Author, poet, son, still devoted son. Thank you.
Oh, God, thank you, Lisa. I really had a lovely time talking to you.
Thank you, me too.